Then back at your studio after your shift. Got it. 6 clues discovered available in your room. 6? 6 files already? Damn. We're on to something. Oh, is that me? Have I been like up till morning to read every files that is like right in front of me? You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Buset gave you on the table. On the wall, you hang up on the big corkboard. Corkboard! Oh! Corkboard! Corkboard! Sorry. Damn. I didn't mean that way. Anyways. Where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of. Well, your plan is simple. Take notes all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. Smart? It's like we're building a story about each suspects, trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into this situation. You're suddenly overcome with the desire to sleep. You close your eyes, press your fingers to your eyelids, and let out a yawn. You glance at your bed and get to work. Okay, let's see what we have so far. I'm trying to hold it. I'm tapping it. What was it? Hello? Oh wait. Is my time like, I don't know. Ah, okay, okay. It's a picture. Picture of the crime scene. What is happening? Question mark? I think if I look at it, okay, who are our suspects? Hervé Grailou, Paul-Marie Fragonard, Salim Wadian, Pierrot Batas, Claudia Campos. Okay, it says the killer's height is like approximately 180 centimeters. Message on a crime scene. Justice. Oh, is it a revenge type of shit? Weapon. Rare gun. Used in the 70s. No sense of violence. Damn. What happened? Message number 2. You deserve this. Oh, you deserve this. Oh, someone's like, who is this? Okay, what did it say? Message on the crime scene 3? Time is up. Time is up? Dossier? Okay, let's see what we have so far. Killer left message in chalk on first 3 crimes. Okay. Victims killed with 1 bullet in the neck. No violence, no signs of violence. That means the victim knew one of them personally. Okay? Killer knew the victims or researched them. That means execution. Okay, that means execution. Sounds like an old man would say, but I don't know. Autopsy. Hey, see what's the autopsy saying. They didn't say that much about the. I don't know. Okay, Hervé. Homeless man with an unknown background, briefly worked for Charles Bougrain, victim number 2 in the 90s, got health issues after Rigaudin health scandal, a couple of arrests for breaking and entering. Damn! Retired cop joined the police in 1977. Divorced from a judge, born in French Antilles, moved to mainland France in year 1976. Well-known lawyer from Saint Quentin, defender on the Duar case, defender of several molested kids in poor neighborhood, was a promising football player. Cop in Paris, dad was a cop. What is Richtodin health scandal? Oh, a gay. In a relationship, never disclose this information at work. Okay. Escaped from Argentina when she was young. Lost her parents to the Argentinian junta. The process. Okay. The thing is, I know so little about the victim. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You pull open the sofa bed, which unfolds with an unpleasant creak. Sir, you better buy a new one. You collapse into the mattress. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passenger, their faces, their problems. I think, like, being a cab and working on night shift can be stressful. It seems like vibes and all that stuff, but it seems stressful too, you know? I feel like cuz you won't know who your customers. They could be, I don't know. They could have a weapon or they could be a serial killer, you know? You open one eye. You find your studio calming. There's something special about living in a garret. Like yours is the last place before the sky starts. You get up quickly and a few minutes later you're outside of your studio. It's night too. Do we need a fuel? I don't think so, huh? What is this? Oh, Oh, okay. Investigating the location. You park a few streets away from the Argentinian embassy. You wait there for your contact. You sigh. It seems so odd to have a contact. So excessive. The guy is one of your regular poker buddies, a night watchman at the embassy. You get out of your taxi and walk towards a big metal gate. Clean lines, early 20th century, maybe. Lots of wrought iron. The gates open and someone moves toward you. They indicate you should follow them. The person's face is hidden by an oversized hoodie. Your heart starts beating faster. What if, just what if, it was follow? You walk into a narrow covered passageway, probably the entrance or parking garage. Ooh, this is so eerie because the last time that I was stopped, it was also like in an alleyway type of location. Speaking of which, they never told me the location that I was stabbed. That is so crazy. The man turns around and lights up a cigarette. Oh, it's a man. The lighter lights up his face for a second. A young man with curly hair, pale skin. He looks young, very young. That'll be 25 or 250 euros. Oh, it's for the intel. This should be. Okay, I'll pay. For that price, you hope the intel is good. You pay. Listen up, because I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it twice. Gura Gura Deshir is definitely a colonel from the junta, one of the few who wasn't arrested and put on trial. He is responsible for torturing dozens of political opponents. He tortured and killed them. You know, we don't like him much here, but the rich Argentinians in Paris love him. They really respect him. Is that all? I read in the newspaper that the killer wrote a message in chalk. It says, "Time's up." It was a slogan at the end of the junta. The process, huh? A sort of watchword from the opponents. It was time for them to go. You get it? You nod. A second later, you're back in your taxi with a hole in your wallet. But with a new information on one of the victims. If you follow this lead, maybe your investigation will move forward. You start a car and get back to your shift. And now I need to find a customer. The fare, nah, 5 euros. Hell no. I gotta get back the things. I gotta get back the money that I spent. Honestly, I could have. I don't know. I'm such a dummy. But you know what? Here we are. I should get a customer. Ooh, Ooh, 20 euros. Of course, I'll get that. 20 pounds? Your next passenger doesn't simply get in, she throws herself in. Oh, energetic, lively, chatty. She looks like she never stops. She gives you her address and heaves a big sigh. You start driving. Oh man, I am. Your passenger heaves an enormous sigh. Troubled, very troubled. Okay. How so? Deeply troubled. I saw that movie with a ghost, another old one, but I really wanted to see it. It's iconic. Sixth Sense, or something like that. She is categorical when she says, it is totally pointless. I mean, yeah, good soundtrack, good actors, especially the kid. But it's a kind of movie where you already know what's going to happen. Everyone knows. Her voice gets progressively louder. So why keep showing it? Why sell the DVD for fuck's sake? Very slowly. There's 2 hours of my life I won't get back. But surely, I see dead people. Shut the fuck up, stupid kid. Whoa! Maybe you see movies that are dead. Jesus. She is very odd. She pouts in silence. A moment of silence goes by and her anger subsides. You glance at the rearview mirror. She's completely still. All of a sudden, you hear a little sniffle. You see a tear. All... Everything okay, man? I mean, women? Woman? Yeah. Why are you shedding a tear? I don't understand. She sounds emotional. Choked up, even. It doesn't seem like it. It's just. Okay, sometimes it seems like I've already seen everything, you know? Oh, it sucks. Totally fucking sucks. She sniffles. I go see a movie and I'm sure I already saw it. I mean, that one was old. Recent movies all give me the same impression. Where all the surprises, the adventure, the good movies. Not really. I mean, the one I saw tonight was good. Okay. The problem was that it was like I had already seen it. I'd heard people talk about it. I'd read stuff about it, seen gifs from it. So there was so surprise starting to discover just well, she gives a sigh loud enough to make the taxi shudder. Movies just don't really excite me anymore. Or I hate them so much they put me in the worst mood. I want I want to make movies that are so cool people will leave them totally enthralled. They'll talk about the movie for hours, not because it's about their favorite superhero or because they like the color of his underwear or something, but a real discussion. Like what you'd have to do for the debate team. And I mean really prepared, right? Not just copying text off the internet and trading a few lines so you don't get busted. She sighs. Shit, I'm sorry. I'm in such a bad mood. Maybe I'll read a few books that should calm me down. Be a change of pace, a nice break. I mean, she could be like what, a director of a film or something, a producer of a film, a writer. I don't know, but it seems like that to me. You pull up in front of your passenger's building. She pays her fare and pauses, a tad embarrassed. Um, when I said the shrink was actually a ghost, I didn't ruin the movie, did I? No worries. She looks at you pointedly for a second, then shrugs her shoulders. In any case, it's your problem if you didn't see it when it came out. She freezes. I mean, I have a good excuse at least. I wasn't born yet. She burst out laughing. She jumps out of your cab. You watch her until she's inside our building. You drive off. Oh, thank you. Let's see here. Should we fuel our... I don't know. I think the money was worth it. The money that I paid for the informant. Yeah, I think that's worth it. Oh, this guy looks expensive. I could get something out from him. Oh wait, what? The passenger who's entered your cab slams the door and stares at you intently. Can I help you? I don't know yet. Ludivine. Although the real question is, how can you help yourself? Do we know each other? She gives a sour laugh. Don't play innocent with me. If I were to say to you, her voice is slightly raspy with an oddly metallic sound. Okay, October 27th. That's a date. The night of the attack. The night you. Could this woman be the judge? 10:46 p.m. No, the attack took place later. Does that ring a bell? You nod your head. Yes, it does, miss. Don't you miss me? Oh! Well, that's not a question, but I think she's rizzing me up. Okay, not another word. She waggles an accusing finger at you. Last October 27th, you were in this very cab, driving a fare, and you committed a crime. That's right, sir, a crime. Okay, I don't know what I did. Tell me. I'd spent a whole day working like an idiot for that rotten newspaper. Oh, a journalist. Do you have any idea what I do for a living? No. A town crier? Lower your eyes. I'm a sub-editor, Mr. Taxi Driver. I correct mistakes that a bunch of modern journalists make. Okay, there isn't a single one, not one, who knows how to write a proper sentence. A proper sentence? I'd had it. I really had it. And on the night of October 27th, you cut me off. I almost died that night. What did I do? How did I cut you off? What were we talking about? I crushed up my car. The same guy who made yet another comment about women drivers. The neighbors called the police that night. I made such a scene. To think the guy dares call himself a feminist. She pauses for a dramatic effect as a disturbing smile spreads over her face. Listen! And what does that have to do with anything? Everything! Her voice is suddenly noticeably quieter, almost fragile. The next day, mm, he's gone. No more car. I messed up a job interview with with a major news outlet, a paper where people know how to write, where they follow basic rules of French grammar. Imagine for just a minute I could have stopped correcting copy for a bunch of morons. She takes a deep breath. But all because of you, because of your cab, everything changed. Everything changed that night of October 27th. A sad, faraway look comes over her. My life has been the same since. But her voice is bursting out with fury and hatred. Forced to go live with my mother while I went apartment hunting in this rotten city where tiny studios cost an arm and a leg. Dang! Then move elsewhere. So I started looking for you. Go out of the city if you couldn't afford living in a city. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm sure there could be like affordable apartment outside the city. The back of your neck breaks into a sweat. You can feel cold, clammy droplets about to drip down your spine. I started asking around. I bribed one of your colleagues into giving me your number. Okay? A droplet of sweat starts sliding down your back. Then I found your address. Your first one, that is. Oh, I have many addresses. What the heck? I live in many places? You shiver as the drop reaches your boxers. But that's your business. What matter is, I did eventually get your other address, the real one. Which one? W- So, is my current address the first one, the real one, the second one, or what? Someone is stalking me. At first, I admit I was planning on going to your place. For what? She shrugs her shoulders. Her voice has softened a little. Just maybe to spit in your face or something like that. And then I thought to myself, no, Ludivine, maybe the guy deserves a chance. You never know. So you're going to apologize. Go on, give it your all, take your time, take a deep breath. She breathes in deeply, then exhales. Like that. Tell her about the attack, apologize, ask her to leave the taxi. Listen, so many things happened on that day, on October 27th. I mean, she's blaming me for cutting is her boyfriend's lane. And now her boyfriend got crushed into a car accident, something like that. I was the one in the fault right there that day. Why didn't she file the report if I was the one who made it happen? And now she's asking me to do this. And mind you, that on that very night too is where I got stopped and got into coma for 2 weeks. That is a lot of things to take in, honestly. Ask her to leave the taxi. Look, I have other things to deal with, not just an accident that happened happened months ago. The woman in the back seat tilts her head almost imperceptibly, like a cow ready to pounce. You don't know who I am, and frankly, I don't care. I want to do my job to mind my own business. And now she's harassing me. For what? She could have used that time to file a report against me. Why would you even harass me in this kind of time? I don't know. I could be wrong. But I'll just be polite. I'm sorry, but you have to leave. She let us out a long sigh. I wish things had gone differently. Really, I was ready to. She shakes her head. This is what we're going to do. She's in control, holding back, trying to contain her feelings. I'm going to get out of this cab and disappear into the night. She's staring at you intently, her eyes boring into your body inch by inch. Just between you and me, I hope you've got good insurance for this jalopy. Because one day you're going to wake up and you won't have any tires left. Or your windshield. Maybe you won't have a car at all. She opens the door and exits the cab with the same energy as when she got in. Let her go. You're alone in this taxi, your head spinning slightly as if you've had a drink, just one, but something really strong. You briefly try to remember that night. Nothing. Nothing but a vague impression of something behind you. The killer's silhouette, a fleeting presence. You shake your head. There's nothing more than before. If only you had turned around, everything would have been easier. If you had seen the face of. All at once you start a cab. I was supposed to get a rich customer. Oh my lord. Anyways, this could be a rich customer, don't you think? Yeah, at 30 pounds? I'll take that. The passenger gets into the cab and gives you her address. Her voice is muted, far away. You start up the cab. Sorry. She appears rather meek, subdued, like she's about to fade away. You look up at her. She returns your gaze, but she's not there. It's as if you weren't looking at an actual person, but at a silhouette instead, in the shape of a human being. Everything alright? Your question surprises her. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Her eyes in the rearview mirror tell another story. Maybe music. Music? She pauses. I don't know if you want. She breaks off again. What kind of music do you have? Whatever is on the radio. I never listen to the radio. I don't really know what's any good. Maybe she seems to be weighing her options. Hmm. Classic? Jazz? Classical? Rock? The young woman pauses uncertainly then. Fine, I rarely listen to classical. She seems like a rich woman, so I was just thinking between jazz or classical. You press the radio search button to find a classical station and land in the middle of a symphonic explosion. Ah, Mahler. Mahler. I can change stations if you want. No, Mahler is fine. I don't dislike it. There's a slight drawl to her voice, like an old tape played in slow motion. In slow motion. I listen to Mahler on occasion. Matter of fact, my parents love him. She is quiet for a moment. Muller in my mind is somehow associated with my thesis. Your thesis? Yes, not another word. She turns her head slightly, as if thinking about something unpleasant. What's the subject? The progressive nuns of Ramsay Abbey at the dawn of the industrial era. The air in the cab seems icy. Sounds very specific. Extremely. Too much so, no doubt. My field of research is terribly limited and how should I put it? She sighs. It's deadly boring. A subject that no one's interested in. My thesis supervisor for start, my parents, my ex. Ooh, and worst of all, even me. She stares at you. The subject is a trap. It's never been explored, and it informs our perception of women in the 18th century. But no one is interested in it. That's how it goes. I got used to my thesis to the subject. But you hate it. Doctoral theses are rarely something interesting, you know? But mine, I think I've hit rock bottom. You shouldn't say that. I don't need your pity. Am I pitying you? She speaks in a cold, clipped tones without any animosity. You find it disconcerting. I chose the path I'm on. I am entirely accountable for it. She hesitantly lifts a hand. But I'm the one who chose my thesis. Me and no one else. To be honest, it will no doubt be the only thing that remains of me when I die. Shouldn't say things like that. She shrugs. You're right. There's nothing more to be said on the subject. A wry smile tugs at the corner of her mouth as if she enjoys the thought of seeing loathsome people suffer. My, my parents think. Her voice falters. She's unable to go on. Is she about to cry? Oh, Lord. It takes her a few seconds to pluck up the courage to speak again. Well, they think I've made a mess of my life. I know they do. They haven't said so, of course. They should have made like a taxi driver kind of reality show, but I feel like that could be an exhausting thing, you know? They are there for me, they help me, but deep down they know it's too late. The symphony on the radio takes a dramatic, tormented turn. I'm 28, I'm doing a doctoral thesis on 18th century nuns. My brothers went to top business schools and earned MBAs. Ooh, masterals? They're married and have a children. And me? I'm I'm compiling pages and pages of information on nuns. And you pull up the passenger's address, an opulent-looking building in the 16th arrondissement. The young woman is perfectly still, seemingly paralyzed. She looks up and suddenly seems to realize where she is. Sorry. Her voice is faint, almost inaudible. She hands you the fare, then exits a cab. Without a word. Without a word. A moment later, she's walking away, heading towards her building. You sit there a moment longer, then start up the cab. Oh, I got a 33 pounds. Almost 34 pounds. That's alright. Not bad. Hang on. I could go on this guy. I mean, he's nearby. So, 17 pounds, I'll take it. I missed the last train. I'm going to St. Quinn. Quen? You put He pulled up the sidewalk to pick up the passenger who ordered a cab. Honestly, if she's doing a thesis, then what? Is she less accomplished than her brothers? No, she's living her life. I think it's like she's 28, she's still in college. I think that's kind of like being thrown upon her by her parents and everyone else. And I think at 28 you're supposed to be like, have some accomplishment already, and that makes her kind of like insecure, feel insecure. But yeah, honestly, I could see her way. It's kind of like pressuring as well because she's 28, almost 30, and what? She haven't finished school yet, or even, you know, have a husband and stuff like those. He pulled up to the sidewalk to pick up the passenger who ordered the cab. You could just make him out, surrounded by 5 or 6 cops, an all too familiar scene. Oh. Every so often, the low, ominous tones of an officer's voice makes it to your ear. The circle of cops breaks up. You see your passenger. He heads over to the cab and gets in. He slams the door and lets rip. Ooh, mother. He gives you his address and you start the car. The passenger stares out the window at the passing road as if to calm himself. You take a quick look in the rearview mirror. Everything alright? What was that all about? Nothing, the usual bullshit. Oh, okay. He has a youthful sounding voice, a little immature, if you ask me. He's barely 20, maybe younger. What a effing pain in the ass. Can't go out without getting screwed by each and every one of those son of a bitches. If you're not wearing a goddamn beret, if you happen to be wearing sweatpants, then yeah, right, you're a fucking hood. Whoa! He smirks brightly, then raises his voice an octave. Your papers, please? He sighs, his voice back to normal. Yeah, sure. Shove your aunts. Always the same old thing, isn't it? The passenger looks at you and lets out a bitter laugh. You can say that again. Even the Arabs treat us like shit when they're wearing a uniform. So smile spreads over his face. And you know what's worse? He pulls up a paperback out of his jacket pocket. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. They wouldn't believe it was my book. Oh! He returns it to his pocket right away. What a classic book. Haven't read it, honestly. For a second, you wonder if you imagined it. The first thing they asked me was where I had stolen it. Like, there was no way I could own a book. Then the bastards took the book and flipped through it every single page to make sure I wasn't hiding anything like hash or some other shit. He flinches. Something in his features. Break? A crack has appeared. Try not to show it, but you see what's going on. You can't help it. The inner struggle, the humiliation, the sense of shame. She's a book. Do you like it? He looks up. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, a revenge story like all the Hollywood movies we download so we don't have to pay for a ticket. Except that it takes place 200 years ago. I heard it's pretty good. It's a pretty classic book out there. Yeah, it's good. It really sucks what happens to the hero guy, and he spends a whole book planning his revenge big time. Okay, please don't spoil. What the heck? The guy is pretty messed up. I think it. I think Doom has also written the Tales of Two Cities. I think, and I heard it's good too. He catches your eye in the rearview mirror. He realizes he's not all worked up anymore. It's my you know. Oh, your girlfriend who gave it to you. She likes Dumas? What else did she recommend? Oh, believe me, man, it was pretty rough at first. First, she got me to read this book, Pride and Something, or some English book, Pride and Prejudice, by Leo Tolstoy? I forgot. But I heard the Tale of Monte Cristo. I think it's like 1,000 pages. It's a brick book, basically. Pride and Prejudice. It is. Yeah, that's it. You read it too? I saw the movie a long time ago. Pause. They made a movie? Shit, I should have watched it. I didn't get through the whole thing, but she didn't mind. After she got me to read something by Balzac, and after the Count of Monte Cristo, she really wants me to read this book. Dang! Classic book, okay? He rolls his eyes. But some Belgian woman, I think. He shrugged. Who my girlfriend says wrote a book about this Roman emperor and his boyfriend, and that it's really amazing. He laughs to himself. I better not get caught by the cops with that one in my pocket. Why? Or by my friends for that matter. He looks up smiling. She forced me a little and then I realized that Monte Cristo is one of us. I mean, his story, it's like a lot what goes on today. Oh, okay. But I introduced her to new stuff too. There are these texts, rap lyrics that she really likes. You should see her putting on a show and all, but the truth is, she actually likes it. It's the same thing with reading, right? I mean, it had to be properly explained to me. I had to want to try it. And that was it, man. I was on my way. He looks down. But it's pretty crazy even so. I'm actually reading a book. I still can't believe it. Yeah, you're reading a huge one. The book and my girlfriend. His eyes sparkle. Some chick really change your life, don't they? I guess. I was trying to change your perspective. You nod your head slowly. You pull up the address given by your fare. He lets out a sigh. You know, man, I don't know why the hell I just told you all that. No worries. It must be a real bummer. All these guys telling you their life stories. The passenger passes you the money the money for the ride. I have to go. I punch in early tomorrow. He pauses, eyeing the time on the radio's LCD display. Or later on, I should say. A moment later, he vanishes into the night. Dang! See? Oh, this looks like an Asian guy. I should visit that one. Your passenger slips into the backseat, dragging the backpack that apparently weighs weighs a ton. Do you want to put that in the trunk? He looks Asian, or she looks Asian. She refuses politely, with a shake of the head. Thanks, but I'm going to have to get used to keeping it with me. It's going to be on my back for an entire month. Sounds like a hiker or a traveler? I don't know. You smile and start the cab. I'll glance at the rearview mirror. Your passenger is rather young, and the camera around her neck looks very expensive. Her backpack, scarf, and clothes are fairly worn. Going hiking? No, not really. She seems a little embarrassed by your question. I'm on my way to Greece to join an NGO rescue vessel that helps migrants trying to make the crossing. Ah, okay. I guess I offended her in a way. Sorry. And I'm going to do a story on them. Are you a journalist? She smiles. The first since you set off. Yeah, a photojournalist. I imagine it's going to be pretty tough. Tough, yes, it's going to be very hard. But I want to do it. I volunteered. I even made a fuss to get the assignment. Dang, her tone of voice is increasingly shrill. I read first-hand accounts. I talked to journalists who have worked on that subject. I can't just ignore the whole thing. She gives a short laugh. I even played a video game about refugees. Beautifully done, really powerful. I knew I couldn't just sit back and watch. This was my chance to show the world what's going on there. Your passenger's phone starts to ring. Oh, sorry, And she glanced at the caller name. Her face freezes. She sighs, a troubled smile flickering across her face, then takes the call. Oh yeah, hi. I'm in the cab. Yeah, right. Yeah, I told you. I tried. But he wouldn't change his mind. Oh, come on. I already told you, I'll be fine. Uh, they wouldn't be sending me if there were. She moves the phone a bit farther from her ear. Oh, come on, stop. Stop. Listen, everything's going to be fine. Um, I'll be there for 20 days with a group of professionals who have been doing this for years. That's right, a group of rescue professionals. Would you just stop? She stopped. She sighs heavily, it's no use. She's been down this road 1,000 times. Help her out. We're about to get to a tunnel, mademoiselle. You're going to cut out. The young woman looks up at you in surprise, then her face lights up. See, did you hear that? I have to go. I'll call you back as soon as she's in. That's right. I'll call back. She hangs up, wide-eyed, and breathes a long sigh. My sorry about that. They can be a little much at times. She smiles. Anyhow, thanks for jumping in there. You can sense the tension, the wave of frustration and anxiety welling up inside of her. Her unhappiness and anxiety are palpable. She closes her eyes, collecting her thoughts, trying to dispel her negative emotions. If I only had a little time. Time for what? Time to do yoga. It really helps me relax. It's an amazing way to unwind, to calm down and release tension. There must be a yoga room somewhere in the airport. We're almost there. Right, of course. You sense she wants to tell you something, but she can't get the words out. She swallows hard and looks away. You concentrate on the road ahead. Your passenger closes her eyes and loses herself to the sound of the humming engine. Silence falls over the cab. Suddenly, she leans forward with a jerk. Any chance of putting on some music? You switch on the radio with a glance in the rearview mirror. What kind of music would you like? Probably something light with a good beat, but what kind? I think Pop Station is alright. A song from last summer comes on. It was played absolutely everywhere, day and night. Behind you, your passenger is humming to the flute. It seems to have done the trick. The road keeps passing by, and before long, you're approaching the airport. A moment later, you turn down the radio, the song fades. I'll pull up over here, it'll be easier for you to get out of the cab. You get to the airport drop off zone. A couple of colleagues greet you with a wave. A few bleak looking passengers are struggling with the huge suitcases in car trunks. A security guard sitting on a luggage cart smokes a cigarette, clearly exhausted. Your passenger pays the fare, collects her things, but doesn't leave the cab. Thank you for getting me out of that horrible phone call. Uh, I love them, okay, but they can be suffocating at times. It could have gone on for hours, to be honest with you. So thank you. I have to go now. I have the feeling they are going to call again. Might as well go in where it's warm and I'm not a disturbance. Good luck with everything. Thanks. She gets out of the cab with all her gear. Your eye follows her as she heads to the terminal. The airport doors close behind her. You sit there a minute or two all by yourself. There's no one around. May as well head out as soon as possible. Dang! She gave me a 10 pounds tip. Almost a 10 pound to be honest, but that's good. Uh Here. I don't see maybe this guy. This rich guy. I've been eyeing to get him to my cab. See? I don't know who this guy is. The door opens and your passenger collapses into the back seat. His eyes are hidden behind a pair of large dark glasses. Glasses? Dark glasses? In the middle of the night? I don't know. I I mean, he could have a sty on his eye, probably, or probably a blind, but that's yeah, that is odd. His clothes reek of sweat and booze. A clubber. He mumbles his destination and you start driving. A few words are exchanged. The weather, taxes, traffic. Then you can tell it's coming. The inevitable conversation about the killer. Some bits of information, rumors, things overheard. You make a mental note of what you've heard. Who knows? It might come in handy. Your mind wanders, your eyes vaguely scan the store windows. The sodium light coming off the street lamps feels like it's dripping into your brain. You're falling asleep. You need a bit of music to keep you awake. As your passenger, you glance at your passenger. Uh, do you mind if I put, put a little music on? He waves his hand as if to say, who cares? You turn the radio on, pressing the dial to find the station you like. 80s rock ballad. Too soft. Behind you, your passenger is snoring, barely, but you can hear him. Atonal classical music. Sounds like the orchestra is badly turned. Right, not tonight. Two journalists discussing new evidence in the investigation into the judge's murders. The information they share, salon talk, nothing more. Seems important nonetheless. An ad interrupts the torrent of words and you change the station. Classical music again. The flute grates on your ears. Electronic music. You like the rhythm but just aren't in the mood. Stop. You lift your hand from the dial. The music plays on. Not bad. Turn it up so I can hear better. I didn't want to wake you. This voice sounds like it's coming from a deep cavern. I wasn't sleeping, just sobering up. He leans forward. Not bad at all. Really. You hear the touch of an accent, probably an American, but someone who's lived most of his life in France. Leave it on until they say the musician's name. The music continues. There's something turning in the background, a persistent melody that gets higher and higher. Your client mumbles, I bet. The song is coming to an end, and the announcer, in a piercing foghorn voice, throws out the name of a DJ you've never heard of. DJ Blunt. DJ Blunt! That is so. That is a bad name. Anyways, I knew it. You like his stuff? Yeah, it's good product. It's pretty conventionally structured, but it's super popular. His sneakers. Still, I thought that dude everything he knows. Everything. In 94 at a party in the Rex Club, there was this guy who started buying me rounds. He waves his hands around. A kid, no older than 17? I thought he was hitting on me. Hitting on you? He chuckles. He would have been disappointed. He shakes his head. No, he wanted me to teach him how to spin. I told him, no, but he can watch. And that's exactly what he did every week until we moved to the Osiris. He sold eggs to pay his way in. He briefly snickers. And now he's on the radio. Silence fills the cab. Waited silence. You can tell your passengers' mind is spinning. You know what he did this summer? He was the opener for the soccer championship, a Stade de France. It was huge. Wonder what people would think if they knew he was selling drugs at 17. Damn! A hardcore one, huh? Well, it depends on the type of drugs, honestly. He lowers his voice a bit. If they only knew. Your passenger clumps up. Keeps an eye on the road. You notice a woman crossing the street at the crosswalk. She speeds up as she walks by, two men talking loudly. We ran into each other in Ibiza 5 years ago. You almost jump at the sound of his voice. I was spinning in this little club. Yeah, really little, but it was something. He totally ignored me. Of course. Everything with those dark glasses, you can see how angry he is. DJ, mother effing cunt. He suddenly starts waving his arms around. He rummages through his pockets as he says, your radio. Can it take a flash drive? You glance at your driver or radio. You don't really know what he's talking about. No, only CDs. No worries. He lays his phone in the space between the two front seats. Oh, he's recording. Listen to this. It's what I played tonight. It's mine. He sets his phone to play. Oh, okay. But you know, people were barely dancing. Excuse me. A drum machine playing a hard edge beat in the background. They were talking, taking each other's picture. Foreigners started to dance in the cab. They barely touch, never kiss anymore. A perfect dance beat becomes progressively audible. All that, a purely electronic crescendo plays, is over. There's a break in the music, synthesized strings calm the song down without slowing it down. At least. The song is getting intense again, explodes as your passenger drifts off. I got people dancing. The song keeps going for another minute, then stops. Your passenger doesn't budge. You drive to the rhythm of his snoring. The sound fills the cab. Ideas are bouncing through your head like they do every time you find yourself alone. This guy in the backseat is too old to be young. You look at at your own hands. They look like they're suddenly aging in time lapse. You close your eyes a second. Only a second. When you open them, you've reached your destination and have pulled over to the sidewalk. You tap your passenger's knee and he wakes with a start. Shit. Yeah? We're here. Ah, yes, great. He rummages through his pocket and hands you a few rumpled bills for fare. Thanks, I hoped you liked it. Silence. The music, I mean. My music. The song I played you. I should have been in the spotlight, you see. 15 minutes of fame. Just a minute of. He steals a burp. You hear him mumbles as he leaves the taxi. Those whiskey and oranginas really screw with my system. You see him stagger toward his building. It takes several tries to get the door open. He finally disappears inside. You heave a long sigh. Okay, come on. I got 34 pounds. Not bad. Maybe I should go here. I don't have much like fuel. On your right, the door to a nightclub, the music makes your window shake. Yeah, let's go. Let's do that. The door opens. It's Hervé. He greets you with his bizarre verbalic tick, or verbal tick, as usual. Hey, good to see you again, Jen. Hi, Hervé. You start the engine. Hervé seems pretty happy with himself today. In the back mirror, you watch him run his tongue over his lips, as if mentally preparing for a good meal. He catches your eye and smiles. Sorry, I'm a bit out of it today. So I see. It's just, I had a bad week. You know, really a bad week. Then yesterday, he hesitates, as if he can't believe what he is about to say. Like it's too good to be true. The lines around the corner of his eyes that show his real age crinkle slightly. He's probably around 30s or 40s. I don't know. What time do you get crinkles on your eyes? At what age, I mean. Hervé gives a little laugh. Serious, man. I don't believe in God, you know? I don't believe in all that. It doesn't make any sense. Some guy with a beard up in the sky. I never got it. What people saw in him. Anyhow, none of us believe in him on the street. His eyes crinkle up at the corners again. I mean, we believe when the soup kitchen goes to the church. Yeah, sure, we believe in him then. He flashes his teeth and lets out a harsh, raspy laugh. A pause. And that's a host. So yesterday. Yesterday. He's observing you. His eyes light up all of a sudden. Oh yeah, yesterday. He's talking faster now, an incessant flow. I was starving, man. It was pretty bad. Toby and I had gone through all the garbage bins in the neighborhood. Toby, he's this German guy. He says he prefers brands that were more generous here. So I was starving. Harvey's eyes tear up. His voice drops off. A faraway look comes over him. A lengthy pause. Are you okay? He snaps out of it. Yeah, like I was saying, I was saying that, yeah, I was starving. Starving. Hmm. I was hanging out near the supermarket on Rue Remusad. Fancy neighborhood, but not too fancy. No cups. He gives you a wink. That's always a plus. And then there was like this guy I sometimes see around, a young guy, eh, like just kid, ID. Um, he comes out of the supermarket with his groceries, and before I even say a word, he hands me a can of cassoulet. A can of cassoulet as big as a beach ball. Harvey's face light up. I don't even know they made them that big. Harvey burst out laughing, and his eyes wanders back to the street. Was it good? Delicious. He closes his eyes, raises his hand, and waggles his fingers. I love it when the cassoulet sausage is all mushy and it melts in your mouth. Don't even need to warm it up. A smile spread over his face. Meat mash, help in his eyes. Something out the window catches his eye. Harvey suddenly pats you on the shoulder. Hold on, wait. I'm going to get out of here if you don't mind. You park the cab as soon as you see an empty space. Thanks, man. He's looking out the window. Yeah, I think that's him. Him. Nothing. Without another word, he opens the door and gets out. This time, I'm gonna get him. A moment later, he vanishes into a dark alley. Sit there a minute. Your eyes scans the dark, narrow street, but you can't make anything out. Then something moves in the distance. A silhouette. Probably Hervey, now at a run. The form darts under a street lamp. It is Hervey, holding something in his hand. He immediately vanishes from sight. You sit there a minute and then you switch on the ignition and pull out of the parking space. Is it about time? It is about time. It's 5 in the morning. You know more about your clients. You have met Ludivine. Okay, how much did I... Okay. Not bad. I got 3. That's my money now, right? The 375 something something. At the foot of your front door, just behind a drain pipe, you notice an envelope. It's it's thick and heavy. You can just make out your name written in thick black marker on the front. What does it say? Your real name. You take a deep breath and go inside. In the envelope, you find more information just as Bissett promised. Okay. You look at the new evidence on the table. It'll take you a while to read everything carefully. You're suddenly overcome with the desire to sleep. You close your eyes, press your fingers to your eyelids, and let out a yawn. You take your shoes off before getting to work. Mm. Oh, not enough time. Let's look at this. Oh, dead means execution. Linked to the process. Are you saying that Claudia is most likely the suspect? I haven't met Claudia yet. I've met Hervé, but none of the other fours. Yet. Mm. Victim 4, a fantastic politician. What does that mean? Victim 3, um, known to have tortured prisoners. Spent bullet case. No signs of violence. Times is up.